You go into your coop and you see feathers all over the place. You instantly go into panic mode thinking a fox or a raccoon or something has gotten into your coop. You do a head count and everyone's accounted for. But now what? Hi, I'm Michelle from JMC Family Farms. By the end of this video, you will know why your chickens are losing their feathers and how you can help them. Each year, your chickens will do something called molt, and all that simply means is that they lose their feathers. The first time this happened to me, I have to say that I panicked a little bit because I had never experienced this before. What I noticed first is there were a few feathers in the bottom of their coop, and even underneath in their run, there was just a few feathers. So I kind of questioned if maybe they were fighting, but I wasn't sure. The second day I saw even more feathers, so then I was really worried because I thought there was something wrong. But as I started to look at one of the chickens, I noticed that around her backside or her bottom, there were no feathers at all. Because that had never happened to us before, I was worried that she might have an infection or there was something wrong with her. I just wasn't even sure. So off to Google I went to try to figure out why was my chicken losing all these feathers. I finally found some information on what molting was, but I didn't think that our chicken could be molting because it was December, and in Canada in December it's cold. So I didn't think that was a really good choice to be molting in December, but apparently she didn't have a choice. All chickens need to molt, and it's just because they need to prepare for winter. So they need to shed those old, dirty, broken feathers, and by them shedding them, they grow the new feathers, and that helps them stay warm for the upcoming winter when the temperatures get cooler. Chickens typically begin to molt about late fall, and it's as the daylight hours start to decrease that process starts to begin. Once our one girl started to molt, she didn't leave the coop very much, and do you really blame her? Because it was freezing cold and she barely had any feathers. Make sure you comment below so you let me know if you've had a chicken that's molted at an odd time of year, especially if it's gotten cold where you live. We made sure the windows were shut in the coop during this time just to prevent drafts. Normally, I leave some of those windows open just to promote airflow and improve the overall ventilation in the coop. You can also use additional bedding for your coop when a chicken is molting, like extra straw, even shavings, and that helps them to stay warm. It would be like you going outside with no winter coat on, and you would be chilly too. We also made sure that she had food and water inside the coop, so she had no need to go outside into the run unless she really wanted to. During this time, she spent a lot of time just roosting and trying to stay warm. To help speed up feather regrowth, what you can do is you can add additional sources of protein to your chicken's diet. A fun fact about chickens is their feathers are made up between 80 and 85% protein. Adding additional protein to a chicken's diet when they are molting really is essential. Now, our girls normally get mealworms and sunflower seeds in their diet. Another thing you can do is change their diet up a little bit, and I would recommend that you speak to your local feed store because they can make suggestions so that you can change the feed that you're feeding your chickens so that the actual feed itself is higher in protein for during the time that they are molting. A molt can last anywhere from about 3 to 16 weeks. Every chicken is very different. Just like people, they're very unique. But what you'll notice is when the feathers start to grow back, they almost look like porcupine quills. So it's kind of interesting if you've never seen that before. When you see these chickens, they look quite sickly. And if you're used to seeing nice fluffy chickens, it really catches you off guard. A soft molt is something completely different than a full molt, and you'll totally see the difference. Once you've experienced the two, there is no question between the two. Molting is a natural process that all chickens will experience, and that's why it's so important that you become familiar with your own flock, because then you'll notice if a change happens or something's wrong, you'll be able to address it right away. When you're new to raising backyard chickens, you're constantly learning. Like maybe you have a hen right now that won't leave the nesting box. Make sure you check out the video on your screen right now. In that video, I'll explain to you what a broody hen is, and I'll tell you exactly what you can do. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.